Hi people, Marino Ray from Berkey here as always. This is, as the header states, it's going to be a multifaceted video. So I'm going to discuss multiple subjects here because one of these subjects is only 5 minutes. So I'm just going to cram a couple of subjects into one video. Simple things, but yet things that are still worthy of being discussed. First up, the first thing that you need to keep in mind is when practicing magic, a lot of people, even if they don't practice magic, but you approach a spellcaster or a magician or an occultist like me for whatever objective you have in mind, especially when it comes to the subject of enemies. A lot of people, okay, even I am subject to making a mistake like that. Not that I've done it, I keep myself in check. But a lot of people, it's easy, even from a neutral perspective, so a non-occult based perspective, it's easy to have your anger blind you to the point where you want to destroy an enemy or someone that did you wrong, and you just want to do the most horrible of things to that person, despite the fact that rationally speaking, that person doesn't deserve that. This is something that I had to tell customers or contacts of mine one or two times. So yeah, the subject definitely came up, and I more than anyone understand what it's like. Okay, to have enemies that you want nothing to destroy. You know, bluntly put, to have some piece of shit that you just want to absolutely pulverize. But understand, that's why always, regardless of the situation, you need to keep a cool head. Cool heads prevail, as the saying goes. And it's the same thing, especially when it comes to magic. Okay, your enemy, you need to size everything up as in, hey, this person took advantage of me, that person deserves to be punished twofold in general, for example, 2 to 3-fold. That's it, that's what the person deserves. But not because someone took advantage of you, does that automatically warrant or mean that doesn't automatically mean that you have the right, so to speak, the divine right, if you will, to destroy that person, as in to utterly demolish that person. That person took advantage of me, I want to see that person end up like a beggar alongside the street or a panhandler. You can see that doesn't even align. Okay, just because, for example, I took advantage of someone, yeah, I deserve to be put in my place, I deserve I deserve to suffer, but I definitely don't deserve to end up in the nut house or to have my house burned down or something like that. No. Okay, it's simply the law of multifold, as in, you steal from me, I'll see to it that you lose your job. That's like a fair trade, to put it that way, karmically speaking. But a lot of people, usually they've been done wrong, a couple of them have been screwed over. I've had this. I'm obviously not going to discuss customer relations or customer cases due to occultist client confidentiality. Never do that. But my point is that you need to think rationally. And I've had people that, for example, have been wronged and they want to just destroy their enemies. And I'm like, no. That person doesn't deserve to be destroyed. That person deserves, for example, a suitable punishment, to put it that way. Let's just say 2 to 3-fold of what he or she did to you, good sir or good madam. That's it. But a lot of people in their anger, they just want to destroy. But that's the thing about anger. Anger blinds you to reason. And you should always let your cool head prevail. But before that, obviously, you need to attain said cool head first. Then it can prevail. So that's just food for thought. Don't let your anger blind you when it comes to things relating to the occult. Second subject is whether other people see spirits you work with, if you're an occultist. If you're a magician like me, an occultist, something that you might be wondering, or even if you're not one, or you're a beginner, or you're somewhere in between, you're wondering whether other people can see the spirits that you work with, and the answer in general will be, it all depends. People that are clairvoyant, yes, they might see the spirits that you work with, even if they're not in front of you, but they work with you. I mean, they interact with you remotely. They can get a feel, even if they can't see these spirits that you work with, then they'll actually get a feel for, hey, you've got stuff with you, as in you've got energies with you, you've got spirits with you that protect you and blah and work with you and work for you, etc., etc., etc. Okay, but the average person that is not occult gifted or clairvoyantly gifted, so literally just a muggle, the average Joe, the average person on the street, the average individual, the average citizen, what have you, the average person now won't see anything. And on occasion, even animals will generally not notice the presence of your of the spirits that you work with, or quote unquote your spirits. And the reason for that is that is generally speaking that these spirits, they appear to you primarily because you've earned the right in general, okay, to have them in your presence. The same way, for example, that I deserve to have the spirits that I work with me, and that's an understatement. Okay, based on everything that I've worked so hard for in terms of attaining a bond with them and just giving them so much in the way of offerings, etc. And simply the relationship that I have with them prompts it to be the case that I deserve to have them with me. But generally speaking, yeah, they're only for my eyes, to put it that way. So that's also the case if you're an occultist in general. But mind you, some people, okay, especially other occultists or other clairvoyantly gifted people, will, even if they can't see the spirits directly, they'll notice that you have energies with you. And if they can't see them, okay, then that's simply an exceptional situation where other factors come into play. There are so many variables and conditions and factors that come into play. But generally speaking, that's the gist of it, okay? This is simply to answer the question whether people thought to myself, hey, can other people see the spirits that I work with? As in, I work with the Archangel Samael, Archangel Sandalphon, so my guys, to put it that way, my beloved Lord and Vice Lord. Can other people, other occultists see them? If I interact with another occultist, will he be able to notice that these guys are with me, as well as the other spirits? And the answer is it all depends. And I already described why it all depends and how, etc. So yeah, that's it. For the rest, there is one last thing that I was going to discuss, and that is if you there was one last thing that I was going to discuss, and that is whether it's possible to, if you come across a spirit or interact with a rogue spirit, whether some kind of collision can occur. For example, if you drive your car on the road, is it possible to run a spirit over? And the answer is yes. Better yet, the subject came to mind because it happened to me today, believe it or not. I was way outside the city and I was driving home with my driver, etc. after a road trip, good times and all. And it's just cross country. We went from border to, to city and back and forth, etc. And like 300 kilometers, a 300 kilometer trip. And on our way back, we smashed into something and it splattered over my hand and indirectly also on this shoulder, and it was some kind of yellow, gooey, sticky stuff. And it has a unique smell that no animal or plant has. And to rule out all rational possibilities, this was in the middle of the road. There was no vegetation or tree that bear fruit in any way. There was no animal. It wasn't a bug. It was nothing. Okay, it was something that just appeared out of nowhere. And practically immediately after it hit me, after I had that smudge over my shoulder, I cleaned myself up. Not immediately, but let's just say 5 minutes after I cleaned myself up, I started feeling drowsy to the point where it took me a good deal of most of my willpower or most of my perseverance to stay awake. And my driver noticed that I became quiet, and that's why. He didn't notice that I was sleepy, but he noticed that I was quiet, and he knows that I'm not, generally speaking, I'm not quiet. I talk a lot, I'm very talkative, especially when on leisurely trips and whatnot. And it took me like 15 minutes to come to. Let's just say the drowsiness disappeared after 15 minutes. It was nothing but a minor inconvenience. And when in the beginning I didn't pay attention to it because I said to myself, you know what, nah, it doesn't, it doesn't matter, it doesn't, no bother, I don't care enough to actually look into it. But as we got closer to home, I just had nothing to do, so my mind wandered off to it, and I told my driver, I said, hey, and this doesn't add up. Because he, as well as another person that we were with, all of us were in the car, 3 of us, and not one person saw anything. It just appeared out of nowhere. It was like bam, splat, and boom. The rest is history. And I told him, none of you guys saw anything. And I added everything up. I explained everything to him rationally. And I told him, no, I'm not gonna lie, I'm not 100% sure, but I think that this is it. That's the case. And as the case is, based on my own conclusion, and my own intuition, is that we hit basically a rogue spirit, forest, a miscellaneous forest spirits with some aerial capabilities. That's neither good or bad, just neutral. Similar to a leprechaun video that I did, etc. And when hitting that spirit, the dissipation of energy manifested in the form of what I just said. It manifested physically. And aside from what I said, what I explained, the part of the car that was hit, when I got home or close to home, let's just say within 100 meters, the car also started giving problems, despite the fact, specifically the brake pads of my driver's car. And this is despite the fact that he only had new brake pads placed literally a couple of weeks ago. And the road trip that we took, it was a completely asphalted road. It's not like we went off-roading and the car could have sustained significant damage. I mean, we went to mountainous terrains and the car didn't give us many problems. And it was specifically that part where the so-called collision took place. And I said, nah, this ain't, this doesn't add up. There is no rational explanation for this. And of course I didn't see the spirit, okay? Like I said, not that I paid attention, but I didn't see the spirit specifically. It's more of a clandestine spirit, a hidden spirit, someone else says. But my point is that these kind of situations can happen. If you think that, is it possible to run a spirit over or to simply collide with a spirit or interact with a spirit? Yeah, it's possible in the fashion that I just described, because I'm far from the only one that this has happened to. It's happened to quite a good amount of people all across the globe. But I simply thought that I put it out there for people that were unaware of it. Well, that sounds fine, but based on everything I also told my driver, that is one hefty thing that we hit. It's not some pushover kind of spirit. It's a big guy that we ran over. It's one that's not to be trifled with in general. Intermediate strength, someone else says. Strength is not to be trifled with in general, from a neutral perspective. Again, he says. So yeah. Hence the drowsiness. Stuff like this barely affects me. It does nothing. It's like for me it's like not even a slap on the wrist. It's like a tickle on the wrist. So all it caused was my very minor inconvenience. I just felt drowsy, the same way you feel drowsy after eating too much. You just feel a bit sleepy. Feel a bit sleepy, and the feeling automatically fades after 5 minutes, 10 minutes, at longest half an hour. That's what I experienced. And yeah, that's pretty much it. But yeah, you can imagine, if I wasn't an occultist, and if I didn't have a tremendous amount of energy protecting me, etc., not to mention my experience and all of that, things most likely would have ended up very, very wrong. This hand might have even become at least partially arthritic, as in having arthritis. It would have simply crumbled up and I wouldn't be able to move it anymore, or I would have gotten seriously ill, or the car might have even started pivoting in an unstable way and caused a car crash or similar. Things could have ended a lot worse. But yeah, in any case, that's that. And that's simply something that I wanted to notify people of. And now you heard this from myself. This is the first time in my life that I'm experiencing such a collision with a spiritual entity. But it's all good for me. It's nothing. Like I said, I didn't in the beginning. I didn't even care enough to actually look into it. Not that I looked into it, but hypothetically speaking, since I had nothing to do, I just briefly paid attention to it and connected the dots, and my intuition told me, yeah, on point. So that's that. I'll see you guys later. Bye.